So there's a lot of things I want to cover today. First of all, Israel Adesanya got into a little bit of a road rage incident in New Zealand where he got into a confrontation with a random member of the public who I can very accurately guess probably didn't know who Israel Adesanya was, because the guy squared up with Adesanya, who then spat on him. I also want to talk about in today's video that, I broke this news because the guy that sent the video was a fan and reached out to me. So, I kind of knew this was going down. Shout out to the MMA Guru Army over in New Zealand. I appreciate allowing me to be first on this topic. Dana White also posted something about Jon Jones being the youngest. He basically posted a Glaze video about Jon Jones on the Dana White's Contender Series broadcast. And we'll get to that in a second. We'll get into his response. Then Jones got baited by a fan really badly and posted this on his Instagram story, I believe it was, which was terrible for him. As you can see in the bottom corner, we're going to get to that as well. And Dana's still glazing beyond belief. And then also there's an update with the Sphere card where, can I scroll this down anyway? Throughout Noche UFC, apparently there'll be a film, a world, and an act. And there's going to be 6 short films, roughly 90 seconds long each. So we actually have an update of, what's going to actually be going on in the background of the Sphere and what this big show is going to be that they spent $16 million on. 6 short films, roughly 90 seconds long each. $16 million. Okay? We're going to get that. Probably going to have adverts played over them. Let's be real. We're going to start with the Israel Adesanya situation. I'll try and... First of all, let's start with the report I gave on it. This got like 1.6 million views. Shout out. He told me not to say who he was. Shout out to the guy that sent me this. Shout out to you, bud, because I got my foot in the door early. He said, dude, there's something going on. Adesanya got into like a beef with this guy on the street. And I was like, okay, I got to wait for a video though. And then the video eventually came through and I was like, yeah, nice, dude. I got it. At least I didn't look like a fool posting this or anything. But either way, my spies in New Zealand are telling me that Adesanya, I got people all across the globe here. Okay. I said, my spies in New Zealand are telling me one thing I want to say before I read this. I'd love the idea of Adesanya not knowing a video has been out yet and then randomly seeing that I know exactly what went on. The confusion that might have been in his head if he was on Twitter at the time, not seeing a video on Twitter anywhere, and all of a sudden I'm hearing reports of how did that guy know? Trust. I'll leave him tangled like Rapunzel. Botched. Oh my God, I took Bedtime MMA's thing. I always say botched. He says trust. Shout out to Bedtime MMA. There's a free plug, buddy. I watched your impression tier list a while ago. I'm going to do my own. We move on because I'm better than you impressions. My spies in New Zealand are telling me that Adesanya got into a road rage incident where he got pressed by a member of the public who Adesanya then spat on. Rumor has it that Adesanya stood in an anime stance before trashing the quality of the other man's car. The man is alleged to have then flexed his biceps in Adesanya's face before Adesanya spat on him and said, I dare you to try me. Trustworthy source, I wouldn't make this up. Just wanted to get this out there before a video or news report arises. Time will tell on the accuracy of this, but this guy's one of my key spies in the field. I trust his word. And lo and behold, the video comes out. I posted it on my own Twitter, but I thought this one was better because it actually gave a reasoning as to why Adesanya said that it happened, which we'll get into. Let's let it play, I guess, and hear what's going on. Bro, turn around, he says. I'm going to try and use my superhuman hearing to get across the message here. Bro, turn around, he says. Adesanya gave him a lot of chances, to be fair, and the guy's still walking towards him. This tells me he has no idea who Adesanya is. A lot of people are like, dude, so dumb moving to Israel Adesanya like that. What does he think he's doing? Not everyone in the world knows who Israel Adesanya is. I know he's in New Zealand, but still. This guy might just be some random who doesn't follow MMA or UFC, and he thinks this is just some skinny guy that he's going to be able to mog in person and make back down. Adesanya starts laughing at him. I guess this is the anime stance that I was given the report on. It's really just a bladed stance where he's real ready to land that check left hook that he's known for on this guy. So Adesanya was preparing himself for a viral street KO here if this guy got any closer. Try me, try me. And then the guy mentioned something about his car, and Adesanya goes, yeah, I get paid for this shit. Fuck off, you little bitch.
Go drive your fucking beat up fucking shit.
Go drive your little beat up little shit. So I actually got that correct, and then he flexes the biceps. I knew about all this, guys. My spy is in the field, guys. I just got this shit first before everyone else. You know how it goes, guys. And they start comparing prints. Kind of sus, but you know, it's Adesanya. Something, see what happens, he said there. It's very hard to hear, but I've listened to it a lot of times, so I kind of know the gist of it. Try me. I pray for you to try me. And then he spits. I guess, is this the spit here? No, that's just a part of his shoe. Let me see if the spit actually hits him. It kind of hits his leg or some shit, right? There. So it might have missed him. Yeah, it looked like it barely missed him, but it was aimed at him towards his sort of leg area, I guess. And then the driver drives away at a moment where Adesanya slams the car door and starts moving towards the guy. So shout out to this driver for being terrible. We should have seen the full encounter here. But Adesanya's response to this is absolutely weird. Because this is strange to me. He says, update via TMZ Sports. Adesanya claims that he was not the aggressor in this confrontation and that he was simply parking his car on a roadway in his home country when the man approached and started hurling the N-word and challenged him to the fight. I just don't believe that. There's no video of that. There's no video of what happened beforehand. I just think this is such a get out of jail free card for any one of Adesanya's, you know, any one of Adesanya's shade. Let's say shade. You know what I'm saying? That's fair. It seems like a real get out of jail free card. Not that he would go to jail or not that he should. Like the guy was going towards Adesanya very clearly and we don't know how it started. I just really do not believe he just randomly walked up to Israel Adesanya and started hurling the N-word at him. Physically. Saying it into his hand and pitching 100% from the field, you know. Sorry. Either way. I don't know if I use that phrase correctly. I'm not really a baseball watcher because I'm not over the age of 70. Either way. Started hurling the N-word at him and challenged him to a fight. I don't believe he was hurling the N-word at I just don't fucking. Every time I hear that nowadays, I go, okay, was he? Was he, dude? Maybe he was. Maybe we'll find out he was. I just don't buy that. But I don't think Adesanya should go to jail. I don't think anything bad should happen to him. The guy was clearly moving towards Adesanya, and he spat and missed, which was probably a lucky thing that he missed as well, because he did look like he kind of aimed for him. But we missed out the bit at the end, so the cameraman should be ashamed of himself. I obviously got there first with the report from, you know, my spies in the field. But there's more to discuss as well. So on the Contender Series, we'll move on from the Adesanya topic. Dude's crashing out, okay? Get back in the octagon. Let's get a fight going. You need to get yourself off the streets, brother. Okay, before anyone just starts randomly hurling the M-word at you. How does it feel, bud? Sorry. Doesn't feel good, does it, mate? Hey? Now you know how DDP feels, eh, bud? I'm joking, no. Sorry, I shouldn't be making jokes about that. It's horrible. Ugh. Blasphemous behavior. Either way. Dana White on the Contender Series runs this advert. I can't play the advert because it's got a bunch of copyrighted clips from Jon Jones' career. But he runs an advert basically saying, most championship wins in UFC history. And then you skip forward a little bit, longest unbeaten streak in UFC history, or something like that. And then he goes, more accolades that he's got, 95% takedown defense, highest in so just any stats they can. You know what I mean? Starts talking about the record of his opponents. 2-division champ. You know, all of these things. The go at the end. And I'll tell you what I was expecting at the end of this. He's back. November. MSG. The only reason I'll call this absolute glaze, yeah, is because if they did this to promote the actual announcement of the fight, I'd be like, oh, this is absolutely fine. They're just going to glaze Jones and then announce the fight. It's a fight announcement. I'd understand it. They didn't announce the fight still. So they ran this advert just to list Jon Jones's accolades. They didn't actually announce the fight at the end of it. Dana's playing into it, hoping it will stop the joke. I ain't stopping the joke. Guy's a PED cheat. His legacy is a fraudulent legacy. He's fake. He's not the real heavyweight champ. He beat Garn, a vacant title. Garn took a dive. We all know it. Either way, allegedly, I'm just making theories. I'm a crazy guy playing a character here, guys. You know this. And they didn't even announce a fight at the end of this. So it's just kind of crazy. You know what I mean? But either way, Tom's the real champ, and he's going to smoke Jones unless he ducks him. And we'll get to that in a second. So Dana gave his comments on playing this as well.
I have for you, I don't know how long we need to talk about it, but couldn't help but notice a Jon Jones promo that ran tonight. What? Yeah, it had a...
This is maybe the most unappealing face I've ever seen Dana make. Okay?
Yeah, it had a lot of things calling him the GOAT, talking about his accomplishments.
Oh, yeah.
Now, was that something you'd been planning for a long time that just happened to roll out this week, or was that a direct response to anything that happened here last week?
I was in the back. I didn't even see it air. I didn't even know they aired that.
There's a lot of stats about him, who he's beaten. I don't know.
Did you guys read them?
There's a lot of stuff.
Did you guys read the stats?
It didn't talk a lot about the guys
We did. It said 4 failed PED test, mate. Oh,
recently that he's beat. It talked about his whole career.
Right.
About the guys.
What is Dana doing with his face, by the way? Like, I get playing into it, but Jesus fucking Christ, what is happening to him? Like, that is really uncomfortable to actually watch.
Did you guys read the stats?
It didn't talk a lot about the guys recently that he's beat. It talked about his whole career.
Right. Still, well, you recently just beat the
Dana's back.
heavyweight, the number one heavyweight in the world.
He's not the number one heavyweight in the fucking world. Tom Aspinall is. I don't know why he keeps saying that about Garn like he's still the top dog at heavyweight. He's not. He lost to Ngannou. He got dropped by Tai fucking Tuivasa. Even Rosenstruik doesn't do that. You know what I mean? He got dropped by Tuivasa. He lost to fucking Ngannou. He lost to Jones now. Like, he keeps saying it like Garn is still the top guy and Jones is just that level above him. Aspinall is the top dog, which is why Garn has ducked him, which is why Garn ducked Blades, which is why Garn ducked Pavlovich as well, which I made a whole video about on the channel. Wait till the end of this to go there. Garn ain't the top dog. He keeps saying he's the number one guy. Like, Tom ain't right there, the real heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah. Hope you guys read that stat. You know what?
You know what annoys me about this as well? Deep down, I know he wants Garn to eventually beat Tom. No, it would not service the sport in any way. It would make the sport terrible, and it would probably kill the heavyweight division for years to have Garn as a champion. I don't think he would. I think Tom would beat him easily. But it would kill the heavyweight division for years to have Garn as champion, knowing that he lost to Ngannou and Jones. But for some reason, I have a feeling that Dana would want that. It's so weird.
You know what is fucking great about technology? We're not far away from AI actually doing these rankings, and it'll be a great fucking day when AI starts doing this shit. So I'm really excited about that.
So he wants AI to do the rankings so Jones can be put a pound for pound number one, even though he's fought once in 4.5 years. Really strange, but this is what they're doing. They're manufacturing a Michael Jordan of the sport. They've been doing it from the start. They let him get away with picograms. The whole thing was made about picograms, even though they didn't even know that Turinabol could pulse. They used Clomid data to determine that Turinabol could pulse. They have no evidence to this day that Turinabol could pulse, but that is the story that we heard, pulsing picograms of Turinabol in his system. It can't pulse. It's never been scientifically proven to pulse. They used the fact that Clomid, before, a completely different drug, has pulsed to justify why Turinabol would. And Jon Jones is someone who's tested positive for Clomid before in his career, which is something I believe that sort of like sorts out your hormone levels after you've had a bit of a weird situation. I think it's something to do with estrogen and stuff like that. I know Derek from More Plates, More Dates would really break this down a lot better, but it's so strange to me. I'm not going to get into it. But Dana's glazing again. He's playing into it a little bit. Then, I guess someone sent Jon Jones a video or a screenshot of it and said, Dana just played this on Contender Series saying you're the GOAT. You should post this on your page. Probably a fan, probably some random. Jones checks his DMs and sees it and goes, oh, wow, yeah, I'll post that online. In the fine print, and Jones has since deleted this, in like near Braille, I am ducking Tom Aspinall. Got him! Got him! Whatever fan sent that to John and said, dude, you should post this on your Twitter or your Instagram, dude. This is big. He put it on Contender Series. Post this, dude. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Jones has since deleted this. He got royally bamboozled. I am ducking Tom Aspinall because he is. Dana also did this at the end of one of his lives, just randomly.
On Rumble. Free. On Rumble. Jon Jones, pound for pound best in the world.
So he's trying to play into it, ruining the joke for us and making it unfunny. I hate it. But at least we've created this meme now, where we've gone after him for so long that now there's all these viral clips. I guess this will promote the Jones-Miocic fight because the competitiveness of it, and Stipe ain't going to add no value to that either. So this is how we're going to promote the fight. Dana playing into memes online. Then we've got this about the Sphere. So they're going to put films, a world, and an act. The films consist of 6 short films, roughly 90 seconds long each, which will serve as interstitials, whatever you want to call it. Will serve as interstitials. I'm going to say it to that. Interstitials between the fights. Those films will then transition into different worlds/environments that take up the entire LED screen that then the fights sit within. Now, I was worried they were going to have Subway Surfers up in the background. I don't think they're going to do that. I'm just asking you guys this right now. These little mini short films in between the fights that will then transition into worlds and environments that take up the LED screen before the fights start. We're either going to get one of two things as viewers from home. We're going to get very long extra time in between the fights, or we'll be watching fucking adverts in the middle of this. I'm very worried about that because you know, if you've ever watched the UFC before, they love cramming adverts before the fights, and they even do it for, what's it called? They even do these adverts like during people's walkouts. So they know no bounds with how many ads they're going to cram in between fights. So either we're going to get adverts and then this to sit through as well. But also I heard the number 6. So we're talking O'Malley versus Marab is going to get one of these treatments. Shevchenko Grasso is going to get one of these treatments. Lopez versus Ortega is going to get this treatment. Zelhuba Ribovic is going to get a short film made about him. That matchup. Good old Zelhuba Ribovic short film. Always wanted to see that. It's a good fight, but like $16 million monumental pay-per-view level. I don't know. And then we're going to get Rodriguez versus O'Day Osborne with one of these short films about the fight. O'Day Osborne, he's 0-3. He's on the brink of being cut, and now is his last chance. Maybe that is a good storyline. And then whoever else is going to be on the prelims, probably Aldana versus Norma Jamont. And honestly, if it's just Norma from a good angle, I'm okay with the short film. And then all of these worlds and environments that are going to take up the LED screen. I bet you it's going to be like a desert blowing around in the background. Maybe like it can't be too detailed or it will look bad. So it's going to have to be some like basic Super Smash Bros. Background style thing, but a little basic. Like some regular like arena-based combat game background where it's just going to be a regular background of like either a desert or maybe a sandy area in general, or maybe a couple mountains are up in either side of the octagon, or maybe one's going to have a bit of an ocean moving around in the background. And don't get me wrong, it will probably look a little cool, especially if you're there in attendance. Is it $16 million and promises of a monumental pay-per-view the likes of which we've never seen before? Cool. I don't care about what's in the background. I don't care. I want a good card with good fights. Please. If you take away O'Malley Merab from this event, it's a good crowded fight night. The only thing that makes this seem as a pay-per-view is the fact that O'Malley Merab's on top. Like, if this was a fight, if you removed O'Malley versus Merab, hear this out. If you removed O'Malley versus Merab and it was a fight night, the feature fight would be Zellhuber versus Ribovic, which sounds about right for a fight night. Great co-main of Lopez Ortega and obviously a female title fight in the main. It would be a good fight night. But then a fourth fight down on the main card of this fight night would be Ode Osborne versus Rodriguez. So it's an interesting one. We'll see how it goes. Like and subscribe. See you later. That's all I got to discuss today, but I thought I'd go for a few things. See you later, guys. Goodbye.